Hey everyone, how are you all doing? Welcome back to my channel. So, right off the bat, things look a little bit different. So, I'm getting rid of all of my books? Question mark? No. So I know the title is a little misleading. I am not getting rid of all of my books, although technically I will not have access to the majority of my book collection for about a year. So if you guys have been on the channel, I uploaded a update video, a little catch up, talking about what's been going on with me recently, why I haven't really been uploading videos, and that's because we are moving. So temporarily, we are moving into my grandmother's house. We are tearing down my childhood home and building a brand new house, which we are all so excited for, but unfortunately I do not have enough room at my grandmother's house to store all of my books, so most of them will be going into storage. So I thought it would be fun for this video to go through all of the books that I'm keeping with me at my grandmother's house. These are the only books that I'm going to have access to for a whole year, maybe even longer, which is just so stressful, and it was really hard narrowing them down. We are moving everything today, so I need to film this really quickly because we have a lot to do. But yeah, so without further ado, let's just get into it. I already packed these boxes yesterday and then I realized, oh, I wanted to film this video. So here we are. So this is in no particular order because the boxes are all just randomly packed. And I don't want to like talk too much about each book either. So the first one is Who I Was With Her by Anita Tyndall. This is a book that Peyton Reeds loves and has recommended to me, and so I knew I had to bring it with me because I really want to get to it. Then I also have The Ghost We Keep by Mason Deaver. This is a book that I've been wanting to get to ever since it came out. I think back in 2021, like this book came out a long time ago, and so I really want to get to it. I want to do a video where I read a bunch of sad books that I think will make me cry, and this is one of them, so it has to come with me. The next book I was going to bring with me anyways because it's one of my favorites, but then I found out it's getting a sequel and it's coming out this year, so I had to bring it with me, and that is The Chance to Fly by Ali Stroker and Stacey Davidowitz. I absolutely adore this book, and so I knew that I was going to want to bring it with me to reread. And then I have Cemetery Boys by Aiden Thomas because I've been really wanting to do a reread of this book. I also know a sequel for this is coming out, but I don't remember when it's coming out, but I think it's coming out while we're living at my grandmother's house, so I'm bringing this one as well as Lost in the Neverwoods. I've been meaning to get to it for a very long time, so I figured this is the perfect time to do that. And then I have Never Ever Getting Back Together by Sophie Gonzalez. I honestly thought I would have this read already, but unfortunately I just haven't gotten around to it, but I really want to read this book. I love Sophie Gonzalez, and I just knew that since this is like a newer book that I definitely want to bring it with me. And then we have The First to Die at the End by Adam Silvera, which is another book for that sad books video that I want to film, so this one also had to come along. Then I have The Dark King by Gina L. Maxwell. This is an ARC copy. I just really want to get to this one, and it's also on my TBR for the year, and I didn't want to have to try to find it at a library or anything, so I'm bringing this one. And then I wasn't like fully planning on bringing this one, but then it just kind of found its way into the box, and it's Small Town Big Magic by Hazel Beck. I tried not to bring too many like seasonal or holiday specific books just because I have limited space. This one isn't really like Halloween specific, but it is a book that I like associate with the fall time. But this did have a sequel come out that I really want to read, and I would want to reread this book. We have The Theory of Not Quite Everything by Kara Node. This is another arc that I really want to get to. It's a romance novel. I'm bringing, I think, most of the arcs that I have that are unread. I don't know if they're all in this box. Okay, the next ones I also was not going to bring, and then I just couldn't resist, so I'm bringing the Darkest Power series by Kelly Armstrong. I reread the first book last year, I think, and I've been meaning to read the second book, The Awakening, and I just haven't gotten around to it. These are childhood favorites, and it would feel weird not to have them on my bookcase, so I'm bringing them, as well as the companion series Darkness Rising, because if I'm doing a reread of that series, I also want to do a reread of this one. And then we also have Curses and Kisses and Princes and Promises by Sandia Menon. These are the first two books in the Rosetta Academy series. I believe the third one is coming out at some point this year, maybe next year, I don't remember, but I loved this one, so I need to reread it. And then I want to read this one because I haven't gotten to it yet. Then we have The Library of Lost Things by Laura Taylor Namey. This is one that I've been really wanting to get to. And then we have Eliza and Her Monsters by Francesca Zappia. I'm bringing my annotated copy because I haven't done a reread of this book in a while, and I know that at some point in the next year I am going to want to reread it. And then the last one in this box is History's All You Left Me by Adam Silvera. This is one of my favorite books. Actually, I don't even know if I can say that because I read it so long ago and I don't remember a whole lot from it, but I know that I love it and I've been wanting to do a reread of it, so I figured why not just bring a copy with me. Okay, now I have to repack this box. This is so like not productive of me. So then I have Talk Flirty to Me and Planes, Trains, and All the Feels by Livy Hart, because obviously she is one of my very close friends and I love her books, so there's no way I would not be able to have a copy with me. I'm also bringing my annotated copy of Talk Flirty to Me because this is the one that I'd be reading if I were to reread it, but also I wanted the copy that matches Planes. So bringing all of these with me. Shocker, shocker, shocker. I'm also bringing Beach Read. I have her other books in here. I don't know what box they're in, but Beach Read by Emily Henry, as well as 11 Other Words by Christina Lauren. Gotta bring my favorite romance books. And then we have Makeup Breakup and The Sizzle Paradox by Lily Menon. I figured I'd probably want to do a reread of this in the next year. And then I have yet to read The Sizzle Paradox. And then we have The Unhoneymooners and Josh and Hazel's Guide to Not Dating by Christina Lauren. I actually realized I wasn't originally planning on bringing this with me, but here we are. So bringing this one, I love this book, and then I really want to read Josh and Hazel's. Okay, and then I have a whole bunch of Wibroka books because I've been so attached to them recently that I just knew I didn't want to be a whole year without them. So in no particular order, we have What's Not to Love, and also Wibroka is Emily Wibberley and Austin Siegman Broca, if you didn't know that. Then we have Never Vacation with Your Ex, With and Without You, If I'm Being Honest, and Always Never Yours. And then we have As If On Cue by Marissa Cantor, one of my favorite books that I've read recently. And then we have Honey and Issue's Guide to Fake Dating by Adiba Jagradar. I brought a lot of contemporary books from my TBR because I've been in a huge contemporary mood recently. Of course, I had to bring Counting Down With You and A Show for Two by Tasha Bouillon. I really want to reread this one, and then I always want to reread this book. And then we have Instructions for Dancing by Nicola Yoon. Also wasn't originally like planning to bring this with me, and then I was pulling it off my shelf and I was like, you know what, this seems like a fun time. It's a short book, why not? And then I'm bringing The Firefly Summer by Morgan Matson. This is the only Morgan Matson book I'm bringing with me, which might come as a shocker since I love Morgan Matson so much, but I figured those I can just get from the library. But this one is her newest release and it's on my TBR for the month and just like the summer in general, so I really want to get to that one. And then I have Meet Cute Diary by Emery Lee. Really want to get to this one, as well as Jay's Gay Agenda by Jason June. This Time It's Real by Anne Liang. This one looks so good, so I really wanted to bring that one. Mixed Up by Gordon Corman. I did have an ARC for this one, but Scholastic also sent me the final copy, so I figured I might as well bring the final copy. Getting like quite a hefty stack of books right in front of me here. Then we have I Kiss Cheryl Wheeler by Casey McQuiston. I really want to get to this one, as well as Long Story Short by Serena Kaler. This is also on my summer TBR. As well as Don't Date Rosa Santos by Nina Moreno, XOXO by Axio, which I also don't know if I was originally planning on bringing with me, but I kind of went crazy and just put a lot of books in boxes and was like, I hope I have room for all of this. But then we have Can't Take That Away by Stephen Salvatore. This one looks really fun as well. Shipped by Meredith Tate. Looks like a fun nerdy time. And then we have When We Were Them by Laura Taylor and Amy, and The Way You Make Me Feel by Maureen Gu. I do think I will have enough room for all of these books, or at least I hope I will. We're just gonna have to find out once we get over to my grandmother's house, because I did not really feel like trying to figure it out too deeply because that just seemed like a lot of work. And already this took me a long time to pack yesterday because I was packing obviously all of my books, so I didn't have it in me. So then we have Just As Long As We're Together by Judy Blume. I really want to do a video where I read a bunch of Judy Blume books. You've Reached Sam by Dustin Tao. This is also for the Sad Books reading blog. Then we have Let Me Hear a Rhyme by Tiffany D. Jackson. This is the only Tiffany D. Jackson book that I own that I have yet to read. Where You See Yourself by Claire Forrest. This was also recently sent to me by Scholastic, and I really want to get to this one. And then we have Always the Almost by Edward Underhill. This was sent to me from Wednesday Books, and I so desperately want to read this one. It looks so good. And then I'm bringing the Darker Shade of Magic trilogy because the first book in the Threads of Power series, which is the companion series to this one, is coming out in September, so I knew that I wanted to do a reread of these books. Then we have 7% of Roe Devereaux by Ellen O'Clover. This is one of my favorite books of this year, and I just know that I want to do a reread of it because once I finished it, I wanted to do a reread, so needed that one, as well as Excuse Me While I Ugly Cry by Joya Goffney, another favorite of the year that I just know I'm going going to be constantly rereading. Then we have The Invisible Life of Addie LaRue by D.E. Schwab. This is my annotated copy. Always want to do rereads of The Invisible Life. And then we have The Dark Vault by D.E. Schwab, my annotated bind up, because the urge to reread these books is always so random and constant, so I needed that one just in case. And then of course I had to bring a copy of my favorite book of all time, A Wonder by R.J. Palacio. Let me tell you, it was very difficult picking which of these books or which of my copies I was going to bring. Then I brought Chasing Lucky. I believe this is on my TBR for the year. I have no idea. I know it was on my TBR last year and I just didn't get to it. Then we have Would Like to Meet by Rachel Winters. I am currently reading this book, although I have not picked it up in a long time, but I do really want to finish rereading that one. Then we have You, Me, and Our Heartstrings by Melissa C. Obviously love that book and will want to keep a copy of it with me. And then I have How to Love by Katie Katugno because I've been really wanting to reread this one recently, as well as She Drives Me Crazy by Kelly Quinlan. This is like at the very top of my TBR. And then I have The Last Time We Say Goodbye by Cynthia Hand. And then I also have Judy by Gerald Frank. This is a biography on Judy Garland. I'm currently reading this one. I'm annotating it. I'm on page 23, so I definitely had to bring this with me because I'm currently reading it. I was about to say we're almost done, but that would be a lie, because I still have 3 boxes to get through. Okay, let's do this super quickly. Oh my god, I'm gonna die. Okay. So sorry you guys had to hear that. This is where a lot of my romance books are. Okay, so we have The Roughest Draft by Emily Wibberley and Austin Stephen Broca. Again, I need the Wibroca books. Then we have Dial A for Aunties by Jessie Q. Santanto. I really want to get to this book. And then I have the Jensen Brothers series by Sophie Sullivan. Then we have Delilah Green Doesn't Care by Ashley Herring Blake. Love Radio by Ebony Liddell. This is another ARC copy that I've got, as well as The Melancholy of Summer by Louisa Onome. This is another one that I really want to get to this summer. Another summer TBR is Out of the Blue by Jason June, and Summer of Bitter and Sweet by Jen Ferguson. And then we have one of my favorite books that I've been wanting to reread, What I Like About You by Marissa Cantor. And then I have People We Meet on Vacation by Emily Henry, as well as Book Lovers. One Last Stop by Casey McQuiston. I've been wanting to get to this one as well. The Spanish Love Deception by Elena Armas. Again, I know I'm gonna love this book. I really want to read it. We have The Storied Life of A.J. Fikry, which is one of my favorite novels, and again, the random urge to read this always hits me. Then I have The Mystery of Black Hollow Lane by Julia Noble. This is a middle grade book that I've gotten recently, and I just think this one would be really fun to read. And then this was one of the hardest decisions I had to make throughout this entire process, and that was deciding which Anne of Green Gables copy I was going to be bringing, because I have a plethora of Anne of Green Gables copies to choose from, and I ended up going with my annotated copy. I wish I could have brought them all with me, but that would have been unrealistic, and that would have been stupid of me, honestly. Then we have The Dead Romantics by Ashley Poston. I just figured this would be a fun reread. I think I kind of just threw like my entire romance shelf in here without really giving it a second thought. I have Do I Know You, also by Wibroca, and The Bookish Life of Nina Hill by Abby Waxman. I really want to get to this one. I believe it's on my TBR for the year. Simon versus the Homo Sapiens Agenda by Becky Albertalli. Constantly rereading this, and I brought my annotated copy. Side Effects May Vary by Julie Murphy. I really want to read that one. I have the whole Brown Sister trilogy because I feel that there's a reread in my very near future. And then I also have Happy Place by Emily Henry because I really love this one, and if I'm bringing her other books, I might as well bring this one too, because I just know that I'm gonna want to reread it, you know? And then I also have The True Love Experiment by Christina Lauren. This is one of my newer purchases. And then I have The X-Hex and The Kiss Curse by Erin Sterling. Okay, then we have The Ballad of Songbirds and Snakes by Suzanne Collins. I also wasn't gonna bring this one. I don't know if I'm gonna reread it before the movie comes out, but I figured might as well bring it. I'm also bringing the Hunger Games trilogy, bringing my annotated copies with the Juniper dust jackets. I figured, you know, once the Ballad movie comes out, I'm probably going to enter a big Hunger Games mood. I've already kind of been feeling it coming on, so thought it'd be safe to bring those. Then I also have the Once Upon a Con series because I've been wanting to do a reread of this recently. Plus, they're just so beautiful. I had to bring them, you know? I had to. I also am bringing the Story Girl and Emily of New Moon and Emily Climbs by Ella Montgomery. These are the only Ella Montgomery books that I own that I have yet to read, so definitely wanted to bring those along, force myself to read them. I'm also bringing Instant Karma by Marissa Meyer because I believe the companion sequel to this comes out next year? finished maybe, and so I wanted this to do a reread of it. Then we have Highly Suspicious and Unfairly Cute by Talia Hibbert. I really want to read this one this summer. Sorry Bro by Talene Boscuni. The Hating Game by Sally Thorne. This is one of my favorite romance novels. I'm always doing a reread of that book. Heartless by Marissa Meyer. I want to annotate this book, and so I thought I might as well bring it with me. Words in Deep Blue by Kath Crowley. I've been dying to read this book. And then I have One of Us is Lying and One of Us is Next by Karen M. McManus. The Charm Offensive by Allison Cochran. This is one that people have been loving that I really want to get to. We have Alex Approximately by Jen Bennett. This is a book that I love. Did I just reread it recently, and is this what catapulted my recent binging of a bunch of YA contemporaries? Yes, but I always want to reread this book, so I figured it'd be safe to bring my annotated copy along with me. Then I have the Selected Journals of Ella Montgomery Volume 1. This one is one that I've been slowly making my way through, so I wanted to bring it along so I could continue reading it. And then I have all current 4 volumes of Heartstopper by Alice Oseman, because one, these are just really fun to read, and second, because the 5th volume is coming out this year, so I definitely wanted to make sure I had these to do a reread of. Okay, the final box. Okay, so in this box I have Volume 1, Volume 2, Volume 3, and Volume 4 of Soul Screamers by Rachel Vincent. This is one of my comfort series from when I was 13, and I've been really feeling like I need a comfort reread of this soon. I also have the individual copies of the first book, My Soul to Take, and the 5th book, If I Die, as well as the 7th book with On My Soul, because I figured I might want to annotate them, and if I can manage to find the rest of the books, then I'm gonna want them with me. So I have both of them. So then I have all 3 novella collections for the Shadow Me series, because I want to finish doing my reread of the series and finish annotating them. So that means I also have the first 3 books that I already read and annotated last year. Honestly, I don't need to bring these because I'm not going to be rereading them, I don't think, but I'm bringing them anyways because it would look silly to just have the last 3 books and the novellas, so doing it for completionist's sake. So then of course I have the last 3 books, which I've yet to annotate, so these ones I will be reading probably soonish, because I've also been kind of feeling like I need Warner and Juliet in my life. Oh my goodness, so that is all the books that I'm bringing with me to my grandma's house. The only books that I'm going to have for the next year, besides like the new books that I'm going to be adding to my collection, because let's be real, I'm not going to stop buying books. It's going to be a problem, but it's fine. It's fine. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, make sure to give it a huge thumbs up. I am so nervous about moving, but we have some great content coming. Look out for a bookshelf reorganization video, which I'm really excited to do. Subscribe if you have not yet already, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye.